Welcome to the House of Bloom. I'm your host, Clayton Bloom, and we are on a dreary day, but it's shortly after Black Friday, and I want to show you some great finds that I found. Some are good, some are bad, but I would definitely have to say all these things, I don't think I would pay full price. I'm gonna like them, I wanted them for my car, but they're just things that I feel like the price is higher, regular price, than what it needs to be, but the Black Friday deal is excellent. First, we have these door hinge covers. Try to give it a little bit more spice. I want to say these go for close to $10 regular price. I was able to snag them for $6. I was actually quite happy for that cheap price. Let's see how they look. So there is no front or back, left or right. They're kind of like a one size fit all. And it should just pop on. There we go. Not bad. Like I said, I wouldn't pay full price, but a Black Friday deal, go for it. So this is one thing that I've noticed. Depending on the wells of the metal, depending on how it sits. So like this is a nice flush one, but if you come to my back one, you can see it's lifted there, and literally because the welds are holding it up. So I may just have to take a X-Acto knife and just try to make that hole a little bigger if I want it to sit. Up next, we have these black door handle covers. Another thing I was able to snag for only $10 on Black Friday. You'll just need to clean off the door handle with double-sided tape. They just stick right on. Add a little bit more color to it if you don't have a black car. And what I did was on my hood, I kind of laid it out, because you do need to make sure these ones with the holes are going on the front. And these are not something you want to mess up, stick on to the wrong side, or the wrong front to back. So once again, let's take a nice towel. We're gonna dry this off, and we'll take some alcohol and wipe that down to make sure all the dirt off, and it'll give us a nice good clean bond. And there we go. We got the front one on versus what it looks without it. Just gives it a little bit more color. So what I did was I dried it off, put some alcohol on a towel, dried and cleaned the first one, then did the back one. That way, by the time I came back to the first one to take the stickers off and to put them on, it was nice and dry from the alcohol evaporated at that time. Because you don't want to do this too fast. The alcohol can ruin the double-sided automotive tape. There we go with the review, or the reveal. I've always liked the look with the black handles. Just gives it more color. Last thing I got are these front bumper canards, spoilers, whatever you want to call it. This may actually take a little bit of time in mapping out. I've looked up some things about these. There's two things that you have to do. One, these aren't going to make a huge difference. These are kind of like vortex generators or degenerators, however you want to tell. It's supposed to break up the airflow towards your tire to help it from not slowing you down. But if you look at your front fender, the tip is supposed to be lined up with this line, the back tip, and from the floor up, it's supposed to be at a 15-degree angle. That's the way you actually are supposed to do it. And then you just, depending on how many you're going to put up, you just do an inch or two down from there, leveled. So I may have to actually map this out, dry this off and everything. So this may actually be a full install. I know a lot of people just slap it on, but if I'm gonna do it, I'm already doing everything cheap. I want to try to do things correctly as much as possible. Join me whenever I go ahead and do those. That may be another video to come, maybe just the back half of a video, but it's something that I do have to figure out and map out. So thank you. Please like, comment, and supply. And once again, you want to help me out, little buddy?
Yeah.
Welcome to the House of Blum.
Yeah.
Bye. So what I did was made a template to install them. You'll see I drew lines where the turn light is, where the fender line is, then where the crease is for the fender, and then just cut out where the top carnards would be, and I'll just measure off that for the bottom too. That way I got a template, I can easily flip it to the other side and make sure it's at the right same location. And there's some other things that you need to make sure you do. One, from what I've read, this angle should be at a 15 degrees to give you the optimum advantage. Two, this top point should be pointed to direct airflow up over the tire, not in the middle, not at the near the top, but it should be directed over it. That will give you a proper vortex to cut down how much airflow is going towards the front of your tire. So that's going to be the setup. Basically, I got this one where I needed it to be. I did the same thing on the opposite side. I put these where I wanted them to be. All the tips are pointing towards the top of the fender. And then I'll just measure off of this and transfer those to the other side. And there we have finished results. Like them or hate them. I think I'm on the fence. They may stay, they may come off. But if the plastic kind of fights you, that's why I have the heat gun out. You can kind of get it close to where you need it and then use the heat gun to bend it to where you need to be. Because these kind of have a pretty nasty bend to them of how it got to connect to the fender, and the fender's fairly flat, so you kind of got to hit with a heat gun to get it straight. Now last up, we have this trunk liner. This was a good Black Friday deal at only $40. The downside to getting something so cheap at such a good price is probably how it gets packaged. This will come in a very small box rolled up. You'll have to put a weight in pretty much every single corner, let the material relax. You'll even have to possibly even take a heat gun to some of the worst creases to try to soften up the material to get the creases out. But for only $40, I really like this. It comes out nice, fits nice and snug, and doesn't look too bad. Kind of looks close to what my floor mats are up front, so they kind of go together even though they are two different brands. And that's it for my Black Friday deals. Just try to keep in mind and try to point things out to y'all. You don't have to spend the most expensive money to get some decent looking results. You can look around for good deals and get some nice results. You don't always have to break the bank. All you got to do is just remember to be happy.